We finished this season last year at 27-8. As Lori mentioned, we were 14-4 in the conference, tied for second, and had the opportunity to make another trip out to the national tournament, which is the ultimate goal for us, is to have the opportunity to go to the tournament. We graduated one senior, Taylor Gossert, who is probably the most competitive player that I've been around in my 15 years at Indiana Wesleyan. She's a kid from Wawasee High School. She had tremendous motor, and we are going to miss her greatly on the floor. We returned everyone else to kind of steal a line from the late Jim Balvano. We got everybody coming back, even those with no thumbs. So it should be an interesting process for us as we put the team together. We have 4 returning starters. All of them are seniors. I'm not sure whether all 4 of them will start this year. Again, I think it'll be an interesting process for us. Katrina Blackman returns, 6-foot forward, who's very, very versatile, and had a really, really good summer. Maybe the best summer she's had since she's been at Indiana Wesleyan, and so I'm looking forward to watching to see her progress and what she can do for our team. Emma Stahl is back, our starting point guard, who hopefully has learned to make a layup, because that'll make us a lot better. If she can get to the basket the way she can and can score, that'll help us tremendously. Val Sahaski is back, our 6'1" post kid, who's had, I think, a lot of pressure taken off her back. She's pre-med major, and she did extremely well on her MCAT, so there's no doubt she's going to get into med school. It's just where, so I think there's some pressure off for her. And then Tennille Krebs, a kid that I'm cautiously optimistic about, because I don't think anybody really got a chance to see her play at her best, because she was battling compartment syndrome in her legs, and then she had some issues with concussions late in the year. So those 4 are seniors, and hopefully they're going to provide some leadership for us as we move forward. Our newcomers, I think we got 3 good ones. We have Anna Imhoff, 6-foot kid from Indianapolis Brebeuf High School, who was a top 60 kid in the state. She's a really, really good shooter, really skilled kid. I like her a lot. I think that she brings a lot of basketball IQ to the game as well. We got a little guard, I say a little 5'7", 5'8" guard out of Detroit Country Day, Brittany Washington, who's a tremendous athlete, and I think she's going to be pushing for playing time. And then we got a Division I transfer from Northern Kentucky University, Kelsey Key, who's from Frankton High School here in Indiana. She averaged 33 a game in high school. Didn't get to play much at Northern Kentucky. She's a different kind of player than what we've had in my time at Indiana Wesleyan, because she can create her own shot. So I'm going to have to break out of the Coach Patterson mold and let her show us what she can do, I guess. For us, our scheduling highlights, the month of November will be really interesting for us. We play Cardinal Stritch, who was in the Final Four last year. We play the College of Ozarks, which was in, I believe they were the ones that were in the national championship game with St. Francis. We play the Ozarks on the road. We play Cardinal Stritch at home. We'll play Georgetown, Kentucky, and on the road. And then we play Cumberland, Kentucky in the Taylor tournament. So, and then we have, those first few games in November. We have the privilege of getting to play St. Francis early, so we're going to play 3 of the 4 teams that were in the Final Four last year in November. So it'll be an interesting November for us. I'm really looking forward to the year. I'm thankful to have the opportunity to do what I do and who I get to do it with. So I don't know if there's questions.
What's it going to take for some of those freshmen to crack the ceiling? Or what do you want to see from them, I guess?
They got to be be able to play defense. They got to play defense the way we want to play defense. And if they do that, their other stuff is good enough that they're going to challenge people.
Steve, how are you feeling this?
I'm okay. I'm ready to go. I'm doing good. It's a daily process. I wouldn't wish it on anybody, but in a lot of ways, I'm very thankful that I had the experience, because 50 days, 47 days, whatever it was, after the surgery, I didn't care about anything. I didn't think about basketball. I didn't do anything. And, I think it really brought my wife and I a lot closer together, and I think it was worth that part of it. But I am anxious because I'm very competitive. I'm anxious to get started. So.
You've never sat down that long ever, have you?
No. No. I did a lot of reading. So, tried to challenge myself some ways. So.
How's Kelsey kind of adjusted to the NIA level and everything?
I really don't know. We haven't started yet.
Okay.
So, she's a hard worker. She's a very focused kid. I think she's going to be a kid that I'm going to enjoy coaching, because I think she's pretty coachable. And I'm saying that based on my conversation with the Northern Kentucky coaches and then her high school coach. And then having watched her play in the AAU, she's a competitive kid. What I've seen in conditioning this last week was she's not going to sit there and take a back seat to anybody. She's going to compete.
Coach, there are 9 other schools that CNN Westlake's kind of become a bully in both men's and women's basketball. How would you comment to that? Is my first question. Second one is Paul Patterson. What has his impact been on you? And the third is, how's it been working with Greg on the goal? Those are my 3 questions.
Okay, your 3 questions. We're a bully on the block. I guess it's all in how you define bully. So we'll have to talk about that, and we'll talk about it behind closed doors. How is it to work with Greg? It's really good. I think his program speaks for itself, and I think we get along well. Our 2 teams get along too well, because we got half our team dating half of his team. So, which is a good thing and a bad thing, but it's been a good thing for us. When Greg came in, when he was hired, Coach and I were just talking about this. Our president wanted somebody else, and I told the president, if you bring this person in, you're going to fire him in 3 years. You just fired a coach for losing. Said the guy you need to hire is this guy, and he is going to be a star, and I think he's proven this right. So, as far as Coach's impact on my life, I can't even begin to tell you. Coach was there my senior year, and I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today, how I'm doing it today, if it weren't for him. He's more than just a coach to me, just like Scott mentioned about Coach K. There's so many things in my life that I look at, and Coach Patterson's more than a coach, he's a second dad. So I was blessed. I had a chance to sit and learn from one of the best.